Hello, I'm Mikey Mah with NoStressMike.com. Now, you're at this video because you're wanting to learn more on personal safety and preparedness. Now, this is the serious stuff here. But before we start, you need to know where this information is coming from. And it's from me, but who am I? Okay, now, I got this written down because there's so much here that I've experienced. I'm 62 years old, and I'm half Chinese, and I grew up. I was born in '49, so I was around in the '50s, and the '50s was pretty racial type days. I remember places where I couldn't go. Only whites were allowed. Other places I couldn't go because only blacks were allowed. So that right there tells you my life has been interesting. Okay, and that's when I was a child. And like I say, the first problem that we came upon, not including the racial stuff, was a tornado that I got mixed up with here when I was about 16 years old. Was just like the tornado that hit Joplin here lately. We had that in Topeka, Kansas, and it was devastating. It was bad. And like I say, 16 years old, I was going through all the wreckage, pulling out people, helping people all I could. It was an interesting time. And then at 18 years old, I joined the Marines and went to Vietnam. And but joining the Marines was an adventure by itself. The Marine Corps was the last military that was segregated. They had black Marines and they had white Marines, but they didn't have Chinese Marines. So they put me in with the blacks. One thing they knew, I wasn't white, so they put me in with the blacks. And in Kansas, in Topeka, I went to an all-white school system. So it was the first time I've ever been around blacks. So that was an education. And then going to Vietnam, in the Marine Corps, we were fighting Vietnamese and the Chinese. So, you know, what are they going to do with me? Okay, my job was burning shit. When I first got there, what they did, took a 55-gallon drum and everybody poop in that, and my job was to go pour diesel fuel in there, set it on fire, and mix it and burn it until it turned to ashes. So, you would think, I'd have some kind of racial problems, but I don't. I have racial pity more than anything. I feel sorry for all of the different races, even the whites and the coloreds and all of them. They all have their hardships, and I understand that, and I have no problem with it. I don't expect to get along with everybody, and I just do my best. But anyway, so that's where that is. Okay, let's see. I've been so scared that I've pissed and shit my pants on numerous occasions. I mean, that's pretty scary. And so I have been scared. But I will tell you, this was all in my younger days. And after Vietnam, that was probably the last that's happened. But I've had attacks, personal attacks, either emotional, such as my peers. They'd make fun of me, tease me, all this kind of stuff. Bullies, all that kind of stuff. And like I say, physical attacks, and even my beliefs, my spiritual beliefs. And so I'm familiar. What I'm trying to get across is I'm familiar with personal attacks, and I've experienced floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, extreme weather, conditions, hot, cold, windy, you know, dry, all kinds of stuff. I've taken cold showers. Now, you might not think that's a big deal, but taking cold showers on a regular basis is a big deal. In other words, I've given up comforts. I know what it's like to give up comforts. Okay, I've been either threatened or attacked, either, like I say, emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever, by bullies, bad guys, street gangs, bandits, corrupt police, military, and government officials. And corrupt may be a little bit of a kind of a harsh word. I'm not quite sure how to say it, but I mean, one thing I've learned, people that are in a position such as police, military, and any type of government officials, they feel they have a steady job, and so their outlook on life is different than what someone like me, who been self-employed most of my life, and I kind of live day to day. Like I say, people are always attempting to victimize me some way or another. You know, robberies, just, you know, any kind of physical attack, or like I say, emotional or financial. So like I say, so I've had my rounds with them. I've seen people die because they were scared to take an action, so they would just sit back and do nothing, and then someone would die because someone didn't do something. Okay, I'm one of these kind of people that I will do something, right or wrong. I will do something. If no one else will do something, I will. I will not allow just someone just to die for whatever. And it goes the same thing. I've been driving along, and one time I was driving along and there was a bunch of young people over here, and it looked like trouble. So I stopped, and what it was, they were all picking on this one guy. So I went in and got myself involved. Now, I'll admit I was about 30-some years old, so I was a young man kind of, but like I say, I got myself involved and broke him up and all this kind of stuff. And I drove by a gas station when it was getting robbed, and ended up getting involved in that. So, yeah, I mean, I will not allow stuff to happen around me. If no one else has the balls to do something, I will. I'm not saying I want to do the right thing, but I will not just stand back and let stuff happen. That was one of the worst things that happened when I was a child. When I got in racial riots and stuff like that, it was hard for me to understand when there'd be 8, 10, 20, either blacks or whites, whatever, and they would come around me. And I knew it was going to be an ass whipping. And adults were around to watch this. And they didn't do anything. They just allowed this stuff to happen. And my dad, when I was younger, he told me, you don't fight. You don't fight. Fighting is bad. You don't want to stand up for yourself. He didn't say it like that, but you know what he was saying, don't fight. Okay, the Marines taught me to stand up for yourself. And matter of fact, that was my last whipping. After I got in the Marines, we don't do no whipping no more. We just don't do that kind of stuff. I don't do it. I mean, I don't allow people to do it to me, and I don't allow it for people to do it to someone else. I understand we're not all equal. Some are more physical than others, more aggressive than others. Some are smarter and more laid back than others. I understand all this stuff. And now I have no problem. I know where I am in this life. And I try to be a nice guy, but we can do it the other way. I'll do it one way or the other, but I will not allow myself to be hurt in any way at all. So, but this is who I am, and I've been doing this stuff. Now I live in Central America.